Okay, I'll just move on. Now, what I would be really interested in is for people to come forth with what you think should be done. There's two basic questions you have to ask about the drug war. The first is, do you think what we're doing has been working?
Obviously not.
Okay, all right. The second question you have to ask is, do you believe that people are going to stop using these illegal drugs?
No. Huh.
No.
Okay, so before we can go anywhere else, we've got to answer those questions in their entirety. And as you can see with the handout that I gave you, I talk a little bit about that, but this is more of a session to spark questions and statements about how you feel about the drug war, not how I feel, so we can coordinate and move on. Yes, sir.
The way I see the drug war, or the war on drugs, is it's more of a political class war than it is actually a war against drugs, because the fact that everybody who gets a felony loses their right to vote.
Not everybody now.
Well, I mean, except for those who are able to expunge their records or beat it in court because they have enough money.
Right, but understand that from state to state that varies. Now in the state of Connecticut, a drug felony, once you've served your time, you can vote again.
Okay.
Now in Florida, that is not the case. And understand in Florida, that's where the election, and both elections were won. But Florida has over 700,000 drug felons. And you can't make me believe that the Democrats couldn't have gotten a couple of hundred votes from those 700,000 votes.
Right. And so it's more of a class war because the police target lower income neighborhoods to go in and make these drug busts. Now, it's not like there's more drugs in these neighborhoods than there are in the upper level neighborhoods. Correct. Because the rich people are doing the drugs too. As you pointed out, more white people die from the use of drugs than black people.
Right.
So
It's a simple economic thing. We're talking about a $500 billion worldwide economy which poor people cannot support. Right. It's impossible to support that underground economy. So we know it's the upper echelon, but they very seldom do any time, or they may get arrested, but their record is quickly expunged once they start putting the political pressure on.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
That pretty much summed up what I had to say about it.
We're talking about over 7 million people in our criminal justice system who are either on probation, parole, halfway houses, prison, or jail. And overwhelmingly, that over 7 million people, they come from the same socioeconomic class. We're talking in the high 80 percentile there. Yes, sir.
Another aspect, because I had about a 3-hour conversation on that one, which I didn't know about. But
can you speak? I'm not picking on you. Can you speak a little louder?
No, I said I had about a 2.5, maybe 3-hour conversation yesterday over the issue of how powerful the industry of drugs are in the prison system itself.
Illegal drugs.
Illegal drugs.
Correct.
They do make more money.
Correct.
In the prison and control it more from the prison than they do in the public city. So it's actually people who are contracted to stay in jail and do a certain amount of time and come out as millionaires. So
you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. I have a video, and a couple of you people got this video. It is from a group called Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. These are former DEA agents, district attorneys, narcotics cops, police captains, who espouse the same thing I do about this particular drug war. And they talk about what you're talking about, and they talk about, the DEA agents talk about how every single CIA operation is fueled by money from illegal drug sales. Ever hear of Iran-Contra? Okay, that's a clear deal where that's concerned. The government has been lying through their teeth about this drug war. I don't talk so much about the war over there. I talk about the war over here. Because the war over here is a war on us. And if we don't stop this war over here, it's going to be very difficult to stop that war over there. When people did not stand up to stop this drug war, it led to Patriot Act 1 and then Patriot Act 2. And we got to understand how this works. Look at the last 8 presidential elections where you see 42% up to 52% of the registered voters voted, not talking about the tens of millions of people that dropped out altogether. That sends a strong message to the politicians which says they don't care. We can do what we want to do, and they have. So we are as much at fault as they are.